Hey my ducks, welcome back. Hope everyone's had a lovely Christmas, and I'm sure you're gonna all have a great new year. Well, not a lot's really been going on. Obviously we've had that horrible cold spell. I'll put in some clips now what my pond looked like. So in terms of being froze over, it was mainly just froze sort of one side. So here where I've got my water feature, I always turn that off in the winter. I made the mistake a few years ago of not doing that, and it absolutely all froze and water was being pumped out and it emptied off the pond. So that does get turned off now. So all this had froze, obviously there's less water movement. The air stone's just kept on the where the plant shelf is just to free up. It's only really this side that froze over, and it hasn't done that for a few years. One of the reasons why I've not been covering it really, because the winter's got really mild. But obviously that 2 weeks or so before Christmas, it did drop to about -8. All this was kept clear. Obviously the water being pumped from the Nexus, so there's movement here in the box. Everything was wrapped up, I didn't want anything freezing. The box filter was wrapped up. Air stone pipe, a bit of lagging. But yeah, the fish all fine. I mean, look at them now, they're all begging for food now. The pond temperature's been about 8-9 degrees today, so I've given them a bit of wheat germ and they have took that. It's only half a handful, and they did eat it quite quick to be fair. But looks like they want a bit more. They're all swimming around and coming up to the top, which is great. But yeah, they've come through that cold spell absolutely perfect. So like I say, not really much has been going on. Filter clean wise, I've probably been doing that I think about every week and a half, up to 2 weeks. I just did one yesterday in terms of getting it cleaned out. There's some plants I just need to cut back. Obviously the frost, like my big lily plant, whatever it is. I forgot the actual name of it, those big leaves, you'll know it from my videos. Frost has killed all that, and some of the dead leaves are all coming out. I just need to get that scooped up and chopped away, which we'll do as well. A couple of gifts I got for Christmas which need to go. I've got some fake plants just to get some colour on the pond over winter. Hopefully the wind won't blow them over. I'm not sure if I have to weigh them down a little bit, but we can sort them. Probably go near the filter house. Guys, thank everyone for my last video about what makes a good core keeper. It's a pretty good video to do in the end. Plenty of likes and stuff on that one, so I appreciate it. Obviously thanks to the 6 people that took part. So you had Lee the pond guy from Japanese Water Gardens, who's a McCoy dealer that took part. Lee Hadfield the Koi Soldier, Lo from French Koi Nexion, Jamie from Keeping It Koi, and Dave from Eden Koi, and Andy from Derby Koi. I know there's a couple of people that couldn't take part, obviously in terms of being busy. I asked a few people like John from Wayside Koi, Vince at Twisted Koi, Jack the Balding Reefer. Obviously he's had a few health issues, so completely understand they couldn't take part. James the Koi Whisperer as well was another one. He's been poorly. So yeah, thanks for that. It was a good video to do. Enjoy doing it. You guys seem to have liked it as well. So a bit of review of the year as well. So you'll know I started this channel just over a year ago now, so those that have been here from the start will know I started off with the filter house, getting the Nexus plumbed in. But at the start of 2022 we had an issue with high nitrite spike, because after plumbing in the Nexus I went and unplugged my box filter after only about 6 weeks and did it far too early. Nitrite shot up, so that was the first issue of the year. And there's a few of you out there that helped us out. I'm recommending I put the box all back up, and it is still up and running now. It is only temporary of course, it's just keeping the media alive, because I'm getting a backy soon. I'll just save up a few more funds after Christmas. These fish. Yeah, so after that I wanted to get a lot of the pond upgrades done. I mean, I've had this pond a few years, but there's a few upgrades I just needed to be doing, which I had in mind for a long time. Like I say, I've kept koi for a long time, but I wasn't serious into it up until a couple of years ago. So again, you guys who have been here from the start will know that my wall was absolutely shoddered. It used to be rendered, all the rendered was coming away. You could see brickwork, it looked disgusting. So we went and sorted the tiles. I think it got to about March time when we started doing all that. Hard work. Pleased with them in the end. We did get to the stage where I didn't know what was here, and I put tiles on and I ripped them all off. So if you remember, all this was a curved wall, so it used to come around and back in again. So it was a case of we straightened it to get the tiles down the end, and angled it for this side. So really chuffed with the tiles. They look really nice, especially when they're wet. Don't know what's going off here with all this brown stuff. Looks like something's leaking. It's like rust. Something coming out of the tiles. I don't know how to solve that, so comment below if you know. Next part of the pond upgrades we did last year, I got my cameras installed. That one's flashing at me and I'm stood right in front of it. So we've got the two up, keep an eye on the filter returns, anything around the pond. Same with that one as well. It was great when I went on holiday in the summer because I could sit on the Lanzarote beach and watch my fish. So, good bit of security. Always recommend to get some cameras above your koi pond. Check anyone going near the filter house with the pumps in there as well. And then my second major issue I had of the year was, like a lot of people, issue with flukes. So I did a few scrapes, noticed some fish had a few flukes on them. So we got that dosed up. Didn't take long for all that to clear up. And touch wood, not that I know of, I haven't had any parasites since. I'm sure there has been parasites, but nothing to cause a major issue where fish have been scraping and all that kind of stuff. Can't believe how much these fish are swimming around now, it's unbelievable. You've had your bit of food for today. There you go, just talking about flashing in the tentacles under it. So the first major renovation works of the year was the making the pond deeper. So did it the wrong way around, of course we did the tiles on the wall, and then I decided I was ripping the liner out and we're digging down. So if you remember, my pond, it used to floor level to about there, then drop down in the middle, back up to floor level, and I got my plant shelf around the edge, and floor level again at this side before it dropped down. It used to come around here and it used to be quite shallow to where the nexus return is. So the lining was ripped out, roped in my brother-in-law, roped in the father-in-law, got the fish out, put them all in a temporary vat. If you remember, my big Magoy, Big Mama, she decides to go and take a jump. Luckily, I was only at the side of the pond, managed to catch it on camera. She thumped herself and lands on the decking. Lost a couple of scales, she had a big dint in the side of her. But, beautiful fish that she is, she soon healed up. You have to excuse me if I'm a bit hoarse as well. I'm full of, at this cold everyone's had this week. So yeah, made a few alterations with the plant shelf. But it took about 3 days to get all that sorted, and since we put the fish back in, the fish have absolutely loved it. As soon as we put them in, they were just doing a full sort of swim around the perimeter of the pond. They were more livelier. They started trying to spawn straight away. So much more room for the fish. But yeah, they've definitely been happy, and it's definitely helped in the winter as well, because rather than one sort of deep bit where they all congregate, obviously they had the whole, this is the whole one level now at the bottom, and obviously they've been camping out sort of down this end for the warmth of the pumps, I think, that are down there. So after we did the pond upgrade with the digging out, it was time for the first major koi show of the year, and it's the first one I've actually ever been to, down at Coventry, which is about an hour from us in Derby. So it was really great. Like I said, I've never been to one before, so I took the family down, the wife and the kids. We all popped down to Coventry. It was great to meet you guys. Obviously we met Lee, Hadfield, Derby, koi with Andy, Bisley and Graham, Lo, Leon, a few others down there, Jack the Balding Reefer. It was great to meet you guys all at this koi show, and it was a great experience, like I say, because I've never been to one before. Didn't pick up a fish. Well, actually no, I did pick up a fish because my daughter had a go at some competition that Adam Bayer was doing, and she come back with a very small Achiba, which was only a couple of inch. Unfortunately though, that Achiba didn't last long and it developed a bit of a bacterial infection, and sadly that passed away just before we went away in the summer. It was a nice little Achiba, but as soon as we put it in the pond, I mean, it was tiny compared to these. Hanged around the plants at the end and I never really saw it, and then when I did finally see it swimming around, I noticed obviously it was very red. Took it out the pond, tried to treat it, but it was just far too late, unfortunately, and it passed away. Last year, 2022 as well, saw probably one of the hottest summers we've ever had. Got to about 40 degrees in places, quite unbearable. So I did a small video of how to sort of manage your pond and your fish in extreme heat waves, which I think came in handy for a few novices out there. My fish, again, you know, they got through that. Plenty of variation in the pond in terms of my air stones, my water feature, the returns from both me filters. So my fish cope pretty well, so I hope everyone else's did through that heat wave. During that time as well, I did my first ever sedation of a fish. So my Kiatsuri, which is down there, developed a bit of a wound or bacterial ulcer on its flank. So I decided to take it out the pond. First time I've ever sedated a koi. I watched, I think it was Koi Fish Johnny, watched him do it, and I sort of took advice of what Harry did his. Great channel, go and check Koi Fish Johnny out. So I did my first sedation, and to fair, he's got through. As you can see, he's gone now. There he is, he's just down there under the kahaku. He's healed up really well. He had a bit of a sort of a white patch for a while where it healed up, but that's all gone to black scales again now, so really chuffed. And it definitely gave me myself a lot more confidence. Hello, big mama. To do it again, and they have done it again. The best thing I've done actually for the Kiatsuri in terms of healing it was salt baths. Highly recommend salt baths. I'm going to do a future video on that, on salt baths, to help a few novice keepers out there. So weekly salt baths really did the trick, I think. Begging for food, bless them, these fish. But also I was going through a bit of a stage of some few sick fish after the Kiatsuri, so I had a little Sankey in there, Doitsu Sankey, who sadly passed away. And because obviously I don't have a window in my pond, and you only see them from above, it actually, when I netted it out, it actually had like a hole under its chin, which was too far gone, and not even the salt baths could cure it. And obviously sadly we lost that fish, which was a bit of a shame. So after that we had the next koi show in the middle of the summer, about August time I think it was, at Newark, which is again just up the road from me. Me personally didn't like it as much as Coventry, but I know a lot of people said it was better. But it was a really good show at Newark, and as far as I believe, they're hoping to make it even better for 2023. So again, it was great to meet some of you guys. Met someone like Brett at Kiri Koi. I met him at the Newark show, and then there was the regulars as well. Finally got to meet Ash and Chris there as well from ANC. And then when I was there, I picked up my new Sankey. I'm still saying it's a Sankey personally, everyone's saying it's a shower. Sumi comes on his head and Sumi's gone from his head again. So Sankey shower we'll call it. Picked that up from Jack the Balding Reefer. It's one of the Polish koi. He's done really well since we've had him. Very lively fish. very lively. Not placid like the Kahaku and the Shisui, for example, but yeah, he's a very lively fish. He's done well. He's got through that cold spell perfect. Looks like there's a lot more sumi still to come through on that, so it probably will end up as a shower, to be fair. Got on a bit of size. Really nice fish. Got to about the same size as the Kahaku there. I call it part of the three kids because I've got the Kahaku, the Sankey, and my mirror carp, which you probably can just see through the darkness. They're the three kids of the pond, as I call them. After that, we had well, I'm still saying it was a jumping fish. I'm not sure if someone actually had it out of the pond, but my tench, where's the tench gone? It's that one there. After checking on the cameras, I probably missed it by 30 seconds because I came out to the pond. Or it was probably already out the pond at the time, but he was found on the floor down there. Wasn't breathing, it was dry, all his mucus had dried up, but the fish has had it. Gets him in a bucket of water, hair stones in there. I noticed a gill move. I thought, right, I'm saving this bad boy. And after about 4 or 5 hours, finally he was upright, and he's still perfect today. Still doing really well. And then that sort of really brought us up to date of where we are now. So I'm pleased with what I got done last year. Everything I wanted to get done, I did. In terms of the tiling, the making the pond deeper, that kind of stuff. It brings us on now really to the plans for 2023. So I want to give myself a bit of a winter project before it warms up again in the spring and we start doing stuff on the pond, because nothing's really happening with the pond at the minute. There's only so many times you can see people cleaning out a filter, or I don't know, cutting a few plants back. But I've said it, I do want to get polycarbonate sheets on the roof of the pergola. Keep the netting for shade, but I want to get some polycarbonate sheets over. It'll be help with rainwater and snow and things like that. Obviously that can mess with the pH of your pond. So it's a case of just sort of lifting these up, angling them, and getting the polycarbonate on top. And of course then there's my backy shower. So that's the two big things I want to get done before we do anything else really. So the only reason I've kept the box filter going is just to keep the media alive, because that's going to go in the backy. And I think with some advice from you guys is putting the backy on this angle bit here. Only a small one, just needs to be as big as those two coping stones. They look really good. So what we'll do, before I get here and place my new plants, we'll get that trimmed a bit, get those leaves off. They're all sort of going around the bottom of the pond, don't really want that decaying in there. A lot of horrible bacterial growth will happen on them, so we'll get them sorted. Go and grab my little clippers. Not slimy as anything. Looks a bit better, stops all the decaying stuff going to the bottom of the pond. Just need to get a bit of net down there now, just to get those last little bits out of floating in there, and we can sort my new plants out. Other plans I want to get done is start up another, like a small sort of grow on vat. So for those, I'm not sure if many of you know, but I used to breed goldfish. So in my old garage that I used to have a vat at the back and used to breed goldfish in there. I don't think I'm going to go down the route of trying to breed koi, but it'd be nice to probably get a small vat in and maybe use it as a bit of a grow on, so get some fry. So I know some of you have done it, so I could either do it back in here in the garage, maybe something around this corner, get something in there or at the back. Just a bit of a small grow on. But another idea I've had, if not to do it in there, if the missus won't let me because of space, I'll just do it without her knowing, is maybe sort of here. So I've got a plant bed, a bit redundant really. It's going to be my little Japanese area at one stage, still might be, but I wish when I built the filter shed, I wish I'd just come right out here with it anyway, and not, you know, not have this. But it's another sort of idea, maybe get rid of all this altogether and sort of this space to put like an IBC tank or something in there, or a small vat. I don't know how many gallons I'll probably get in there, but get some shelter across the top from the filter shed, get it all insulated and stuff. Obviously I've got my box filter I can use as the filter, which would be great for it. Get a small UV on there. I think that'll be pretty cool, just to sort of fill this space up. So once I've done obviously the polycarbonate roof and me backy and that, it's something else I'll think about. I'll see what funds I can sort of scrape together and maybe get a few more bonuses at work. But yeah, so it's not a definite. It's on me in my thoughts at the minute. But let me know what you think. Obviously it'd be great to have it indoors, but I think in terms of space this might be the sort of best area. But it'll sort of fill that up really cool, and it'd be nice to get some small fry. I do like to get my fish small anyway. There's a lot of fish getting quite big in there now. I don't really want to put tiny fish in there, so maybe get a selection and grow them on in there. I think that'll look pretty cool. Gotta bear with me, guys. A bit ago I ate some chicken bite things out of the fridge. I was munching on them. Mrs. come down and said you need to cook them. I was like, what? And I must have ate about 5 like little chicken nugget things. I thought they was already cooked. Now my stomach feels a bit queasy. So if I shoot off to the loo, that's where I've gone. Right, guys, so fake plants. Ignore the flashing light, but they're in. I'm not sure if they're going to stay there. Let me know what you think. Obviously, I think I'm going to get a few more over time. I think they definitely need ones by the pergola posts. I just don't want to put them there yet because I need something to weigh them down with, to be fair, because I don't want the wind to blow them over. That one was specially moved once this plank grows, because you're not going to see that, so we'll remove that, but I'll come next to the backing once that's in. But yeah, it just gives it a bit of colour, hides some of the crappy pipe work. So guys, yeah, I just want to thank everyone for the last year, for everyone watching my videos for a start, those that took the time to give it a bit of a thumbs up if you liked them, and of course every single subscriber that's took the time to actually subscribe to the channel. Really thank you very much. There's a few people out there, well there's loads of you out there. There's a whole list of people I could thank, and I'll be here forever, but these main ones you've got Martin at Martin's Koi Pond and Garden, Darby Koi, Andy, Lo, she's given me some great advice, and of course Vince at Twister Koi. So those especially with the advice for the last year. I get the list goes endless, guys. There's plenty of new channels available now, so West Brom Koi, and the list just goes on and on and on, and my mind goes blank when it comes to things like this, so I totally apologise if I've not said your name. But I'm subscribed to God knows how many channels as well, and I try and watch as many videos as possible. I get quite behind sometimes, and I still sit there and catch up. I can sit there for about 5 hours one evening and just literally try and catch up as best as possible. Jamie at Keeping and Koi knows that because I'm always messaging him saying I'm behind. And he's done about 5 videos. I really want to try and get some pond visits done as well in 2023. I'd love to go and see some of your guys. It's not just YouTubers, but anyone that's that watches my videos and wants me, to come and do a bit of a video, a bit of a pond tour, and document it on my channel. I'd love to get out there. There's a few local ones to me. Obviously, Kyle at Macakoi, Derby Koi, Brett. There's a few local ones I could probably get to. Telford Koi's and not too far away. So that'd be great to go and do that. So yeah, so fingers crossed I can get some more videos put out. I've got quite a lot of videos planned I want to do, maybe not just vlogging, actually documenting the pond, but a bit like the what makes a good koi keeper type videos, a bit of how-to videos and stuff like that. I mean, I'm no expert, don't get me wrong, but try and give as much advice as possible, try and give back to our people who've helped me, and yeah, so if anything helps. Yeah, so thanks for watching it. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Of course, if you're not subscribed, give it a subscribe. Always welcome. And we'll see you next time from a video. Sharpest Pond World. Cheers, ducks. Bye.